Two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that then.
Oh, the drama, gentlemen. This is the final day of predictions before the end of the 2024-25 Write That Down season. We run Super Bowl to Super Bowl. Welcome into the OG edition of Write That Down on Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd. This is a segment that goes back a decade to the old radio show on 1500 ESPN. We have statistics that go back to 2018, and this is the closest we've ever had battling for the two categories, batting average and home runs. Literally, any of the three of us and or the listeners could win or finish in last place in any of the categories, mathematically.
Wow.
It's that tight.
Wow.
Are we going to have to go down to like to the 100th percentile? Like
It has happened before.
Yep,
there
I
was
going to say.
There was a
Two-man
batting
race
title
one time.
race back like a few years ago where it was we had to like go maybe three decimal points deep or something.
Yep.
Point something.
Very, very exciting.
So do you know, there's a legendary tale of Ted Williams was batting just over 400 going into the last day of the season back in 1941?
41, yeah.
41. Mm-hmm. And they had a doubleheader. And his manager had him not scheduled to start in the lineup. And old Teddy Ballgame to preserve the 400 batting average. And Teddy Ballgame said, "No, I'm going down swinging." And he actually increased his average from like 401 or 400 on the nose to 406. Mm-hmm. So who's going to beat Teddy Ballgame and park predictions that come off the board before next week? And who's going to cowardly sit out the last day of the...
Here's the problem. As we have found out, average doesn't matter anymore.
It's all about bombs.
I just want the... My hot take angle is the only thing that's important.
You want bombs.
What's my hot take angle?
I feel like when you say stuff like back in 1941, you have to say it in like Tim Kirchin voice, like Ted Williams had the batting average race wrapped up, and we can do the same thing with Mackie and Judd. Mackie had one more home run to go. He had one good swing left in him.
Yeah, say everyone talked in that weird accent back then too.
Yeah.
It's like a
the movie phone thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's a name for it. Like is it like the transatlantic something? It's like an old theater. It's an old theater accent. Yeah, why are you bothering me?
Look at Teddy Ballgame right there. He and DiMaggio. Oh boy, are those two handsome lads.
So, anyways, here's how Write That Down works. If you're new, maybe you're just discovering this. Well, we are the only show in America that has the stones to put stats next to our predictions. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate, like Merrick is about to, you can send Declan a message through the SKOR North app. There's a feedback tab. That's the best way to email the show. So let's get into the accountabilities here. We'll start with Judd. You had one thing come off the board.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
You said Jared Goff will be the NFL MVP this season.
That's right. That must have been halfway through the season. Goff was red hot at one point.
He was in the mix, and then he threw like 5 picks in a game
against Houston. At Houston, and they still won.
Yeah, I had 2 board. My Royal Rumble parlay came close. I said John Cena was the odds-on favorite. I said he will not. I'll take the field. And I said Charlotte Flair would be in the final 2 of the Women's Rumble. Well, she won it. But I said Seth Rollins would be in the final 2. He was in the final 4, I believe, of the Men's Rumble. And then he was unceremoniously dumped over the top rope.
Didn't get your hands on the script in time is what happened.
No. But I did tell you that the Timberwolves would be 5 games over 500 at some point in the last week. They did, and then they started losing.
Oh, did you? Woo. Cleared that bar.
Oh, we'll get to them on Flagrant Howls. Joe Hendry. Okay, listeners, Jason said Joe Hendry would appear in the 2025 Royal Rumble.
And he will appear.
Say his name, and he appears, Judd. Joe Hendry.
Is Joe a huge name?
He is now.
Okay.
Huge,
fast
like
riser.
he was this huge indie star, and then he's on TNA, which WWE just acquired. He was doing, this guy was doing a house show at Woodbury Middle School like 6 months ago down the road from me, and I had no idea until after the fact.
Really?
And then he was in the Royal Rumble on Sat, just like
To like a standing ovation from 70,000
like
fans.
one of the best
Right.
pops of the night was Joe Hendry getting announced. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Declan had most of his wrestling, all of his wrestling predictions went
this could
awry.
be-
Most of them.
Charlotte and Becky would be in the final two of the Rumble. Roman Reigns would win the Rumble. And John Cena would make it to the final four, which he did, but not the final two, which he was in the final two but didn't win. Really, that was a tough beat there. But you did say at some point between, like, I don't know, a month ago or a few weeks ago and the All-Star break, the Wolves would get to 5 games over 500. So we kind of cancel out on that one. So with that, here are the statistics and the standings going into the... And remember, there's going to be some things that come off the board, too, like NFL season-ending awards, and then whatever we would put on the board this week. We have some stuff from the Super Bowl last week. Declan batting 314.
Oh, boy.
I'm at 309. Listeners at 292. Judd at 289. So it's becoming a little tougher here. Like, Judd would have to go for sure like 3 for 3 and have some other things come off the board. Gonna be tough. But the home run race, listeners with 14. I'm at 13. Declan 11. Judd 11. So technically, any of us can still mathematically. Now, if the listeners hit another bomb or two, it'll be up to Merrick here, I guess. Then they could put that one on ice. In terms of career stats, Declan leads the career batting average race, 351. I just celebrated my 300th career Write That Down hit. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And the listeners was 69 home runs with a big lead in that category. So, all right, let's get Merrick in here. He's our guest listener predictor for the final week of the season. What's going on, Merrick? Do you feel pressure representing the listeners here in this high leverage moment?
I feel like the average might be a little out of reach, but I want to try to ice the home run race. So we'll see what we can do.
Merrick's going to call in a
Probably
shot
a good call.
already.
That's a good call, Merrick.
Swing for the fences. What's your background as a Minnesota sports fan, Merrick?
I just grew up in, southwestern rural Minnesota, so just got born into it. So
That's
And now you're cursed with all these teams.
I know, 24 years strong. So
Yep. Couldn't have been born in
Hang in there.
Massachusetts or something.
There's hope for you. Maybe not for me, but for you.
So we'll start with Merrick over to Judd, then Declan back to me. We'll make 3 trips around the room here. All right, boys, let's rock.
Write this down.
Merrick.
all right, write this down. I think this is a 2-item parlay. So the Wolves will bounce back tonight versus the Bulls, and then Rob Dillingham will score at least 20 points.
Okay. Hopefully he gets more than 16 minutes to score those 20 points.
He's not ready for it, Phil. He's not ready for more than that.
Hopefully more minutes than Joe Ingles, but we'll see.
It's so funny that, like, oh, man, Dillingham was did you see him for those rough 2 minutes in the third quarter of that game? It's like, meanwhile, Mike Conley has, like, 1 clutch time made shot in 3 months.
He got a last game. I mean, what more could you want?
I mean, even Mike Conley at this point would be like, yeah, we'll probably put Rob out there for the last 3 minutes here. Just see what happens.
Write this down.
All right, Judd.
All right, in light of the massive trade that was made on Saturday between the Mavericks and Lakers, write this down. Luka will drop 50 within his first 5 games as a Laker. He's going to be back soon. He's going to drop 50. He is going to single-handedly go off.
I love that prediction.
I think he is. I think he feels very, very patronized.
It's embarrassing, right? Because it's like, it's not only that they traded you, which is kind of embarrassing because why would you for the haul? It's when you see Rudy Gobert and who was one of the Knicks acquired, it was Bridges for like 4 first-round picks.
It's like 4 draft picks
Yeah.
in each. 4 first-round picks, I think, in each.
And I get that Anthony Davis is the centerpiece in the Hall of Fame. But then on the way out, they're fat-shaming you.
Well, and then you get off the plane and do a press conference in L.A., And you don't look that fat. That's the other thing.
He's not like a tank. He's got kind of a.
I think he looks like Pooh Bear.
Bod.
I think he looks like Pooh Bear.
Maybe LeBron could teach him how to stay in shape.
Well, that might happen actually
last
too.
30 games.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. But yeah, he's going to score. That dude can, if he wants, he can score 50 in his sleep. He's going to score 50 within his first 5 games as a Laker.
Write this down.
I
All right,
it.
Dex.
I'll make an NBA trade deadline prediction as well. Write this down. Kevin Durant gets traded by the deadline.
Okay.
There's a lot of steam on that.
Is
Yeah,
that
I
out
think
last night
Durant
with
gets
an
moved.
ankle? But it's supposedly not that bad of ankle. Like it's like he could have played through it.
Are they playing tonight too? This ankle thing seems a little. It's smart, right? It's just, hey,
yeah.
is your ankle hurt? No, it feels fine. No, your ankle hurts. Let's just let.
So are they going to try to move him to Miami in the Butler deal? Like what's the
No,
end game here?
apparently the Warriors are hell bent on bringing Durant back in and just making one final run with Steph Curry and Draymond.
Oh, okay.
So, is there some kind of? Well, here, write this down because this is one of
Write
mine.
this down.
18-team trade coming up.
I'll say at least. Well, it'd have to be. I was gonna say at least 2 or more, but if there's one, it would automatically be 2. So I'll say this: at least 3 or more players who make $30 million or more per year will be traded by the deadline. So is that a home run, by the way? Because like one trade would be like Durant for someone. It would have to be 2 players who make over 30.
Yeah, it's 3 guys. Yeah.
It's basically max players, right? I mean, you're probably a max player for making 30 million per. And
Generally.
then also because of second apron and all the other stupid things that are involved, it becomes very complicated to make the trades. So yes, I would say that this is a home run.
It's because like at this point, it feels like Durant probably gets traded or Butler. But if it's Durant and Butler, I'm saying beyond that, there's going to be at least someone else who makes at least $30 million.
Yep.
So there'll be another blockbuster. We've already had 2 blockbusters because De'Aaron Fox for Levine and then So I'm home run hunting here. Okay, back to Merrick for his second prediction.
Write this down.
All right, write this down. So the Twins, I'm making a Twins prediction. So the Twins are high on Emmanuel Rodriguez, supposedly, as from Dex says. But I believe by the end of the 2025 season, Emmanuel Rodriguez and Marco Rhea will make their debuts in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you're pretty safe with Emmanuel. I think is it Raya? I think it might be pronounced Raya, but
Raya.
that one might be a longer shot, but I like it regardless.
I think
Is this a home run?
I think he ended up, or like he ended the season in AAA, but I think he had.
Yeah.
They're like he's one of their top pitching prospects, I believe.
Yeah. Last year, I think he was their top pitching prospect. He kind of had a rockier year production wise. I would say this is a home run because I don't think Marco Raya, will sniff the major leagues. I think he's blocked unless same thing happens last year. I mean, Zebby Matthews made his major league debut, so it's possible. But I think this is a home run. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Write this down.
Back to Judd.
I'll piggyback that one with this prediction. Walker Jenkins will make his big league debut in 2025.
That's more of a long shot because he's
I know.
multiple levels away. He'll probably start maybe at AA.
Double A, yeah. I think he'll start at double A.
And then we'll see. I guess if you
AAA.
mash AA, then anything
look,
can happen.
Little cup of coffee up here. Yep.
Yeah.
what I
And
got.
what is he, 20? So he'd be
he's
one
a
of the
young
youngest
pup.
players in
And
baseball if he.
Suppose Ryan Jeffers said like he squats more than he works out with Jeffers because they're both from North Carolina, and apparently he's like this huge workout fiend, just attacks the gym. And when you look at him too, you can tell this guy is in absurd shape,
Don't pull
Just
a
like us.
hamstring.
just like us.
100%.
Just attack the gym.
That's right.
Write this
With
down.
an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Okay, we're back to Dex here.
Write this down. Sorry, a little internet blip there. The Wild, who have been shut out in back-to-back games, will score at least 3 goals on Thursday against the Hurricanes. So shutouts, they have no Kaprizov. They will score at least 3 goals against Carolina after being blanked in back-to-back games. The Furious rallies, Judd. They rally for an offensive performance after being on their butts for the last 2 games. Write it down.
Yeah. The Saturday night game against the Senators was atrocious. So But yeah,
I feel like the
I could see that.
with how exciting the first like month and a half was, and then like the Kaprizov injury, just kind of a classic Minnesota sports thing to happen.
Well, the problem is they can't win at home. They're 11,
Neither one of these
12 and 1, and the
winter
Wolves
teams.
are what, 13 and 13 at home? It is bizarre. Like, how are you this crappy on your home ice or home floor?
My Flagrant Howl's hottest Wolves take has to do with the Wolves at home.
Oh,
Little tease for you guys today.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Write this down.
All right, write this down. The Phoenix Waste Management Open is this weekend,
I love it.
or the WM. Is it the WM Open? They've changed their kind of. So it's the Waste Management Open, and it's notoriously just a sloppy drunk fest. There's always videos of
16,
people.
right?
The 16th hole.
16,
okay,
yeah. Is nuts.
16-year-olds just getting drunk.
No,
I
the
was like, what are you talking
no, I
about?
said the
16.
16.
Judd
the
talking in
16th hole.
shorthand is my favorite thing on the show.
Yeah.
16 is my
Yeah.
favorite.
But yeah, 16th is the stadium atmosphere, and it's just people being crazy. So the Scottsdale Police Department released statistics from last year's activity. And so we went from, in 2013, we had 18 arrests. We had 54 arrests last year. Ejections, we went from 102 to 211 year over year in ejections. And we had calls for service. So that could be anything. We went from 558 to 653. So things are getting out of hand. So here's my prediction. At the Phoenix Waste Management Open, we will correct it and come back the other way. I'm going to take the under on 54 arrests. And I'll take the under on 211 ejections. So I'll put a couple things. I should just do a 3-item parlay while I'm on a roll here. And I'll take the under on the 653 calls for service. So give me we're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna have less crime and less frivolous activity.
Just so I have this all correct written down in the spreadsheet, because I'm Burgundy. The Phoenix Open will have less than 54 arrests, easy for me to say, less than 211 ejections, and less than 653 calls for service.
Yes.
Okay, and you're obviously tracking this, so I will allow you to figure this out.
Quickly is this tracked
Yeah.
by the actual tournament? Do we know?
I'm guessing it'll come out pretty quickly.
Okay.
But, dude, this could be our hanging Chad moment, where the 2024 Write That Down season comes down to needing that police report to come out to verify
Are you trying to gum this up?
I will tie this up and
Are you
write that
trying to
down
tie
court
this up
for
and write that
6
down
months
court?
if needed. Yes.
Wow.
Well, you are.
I think the
Your niche base.
statistics will come out pretty quickly.
You think, but you're not sure of that.
No.
Oh my! Oh God, this could
But
cause some controversy.
It's been, by the way, in 2022 there were no arrests. So we went from 0 arrests to 18 to 54. So the trend would say that, like, I guess we're gonna just keep going. But I think they're gonna put some, I don't know, just some blockers in place.
Or just ignore it.
Ignore what? Just let people run roughshod?
The debauchery, yeah. Just
Write this down.
like in 22, it's not like the people were well behaved. They just ignored it.
Did go a couple years ago?
He went last year.
Last year? Okay.
How drunk did Tigey get?
I think he made an appearance on Flagrant Howls from like one of the VIP tents. And you couldn't tell because he did a great job. He's like, I'm at least 6 IPAs in right now, and maybe a shot. I don't know. I don't remember.
You probably had the sunglasses on, which is always a good blocker, because like you get the drunk eyes.
He's a
can
hero.
Obviously, be a big tell.
He's a hero of mine.
Merrick, back to you for your third and final prediction.
Write this down.
All right, we're gonna go back to kind of the Wolves thing, but it's more of a person. So this guy got a sniff last offseason, but I believe Mike Anori will be a head coach in the 2025-26 NBA season.
His stock is definitely high among us. And he's gotten some interviews and some sniffs, like you said. So I could see that. His personality, he probably impresses in the interviews because he's kind of funny and witty.
Write this down.
So, Merrick, all right, dude, great job with your predictions here. Since you've got this life-changing platform, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get here?
I just want to thank my fiance. She's upstairs sleeping, but just want to thank her. She does a lot for me. I'm not like saying I'm like dependent, but I'm like she does a lot for me, and
That's okay if you are.
If you are,
You're
yeah,
pretty
join the
I'm
club.
just
screwed
dependent
in
on
life
Dawn,
if not
so
for her.
yeah.
Yep. And there's a story where we were watching the Lions game, and they were getting down, they're getting beat up, and she just wouldn't stop talking. She's like, "Yeah, you can stop. Like, I am pissed off right now, frustrated. Just please stay silent." So I'm just like, "Oh my god."
How did that go?
And she's still there. That's very
She's still there.
impressive.
I was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for saying that. Oh my gosh." But yeah, she's definitely gone into more sports now that we're together. So she puts up with me, and so
I'm envisioning one of those like Instagram or TikTok memes where you say something, you take a step too far and says, "Honey, I need you to be quiet during the game," and then the next it's like a jump cut to
funeral.
R.I.P. Merrick
Yeah.
at the funeral.
Those are great. I love those. Those are out there.
Those
Those are awesome.
So Merrick, awesome stuff, dude. Good luck with your predictions, and we'll see you again sometime.
See you, boys.
See you, man.
All right, there he goes. Hey, before we make our 3 final predictions here of the Write That Down season, let's talk about MSP Plumbing for a moment, Judd.
Yeah, so guess what, folks? It's gone back to being cold outside, and that means that if the furnace starts to cough and weave, that you're going to say to yourself, I need some help here. Well, it's this simple. Call my friend Dave at MSP Plumbing, Heating and Air, because they've got the answers. For over a century now, families have gone to them for all their plumbing, drains, heating, and cooling needs. 100% family-owned and operated business. MSP is committed to taking care of your family, which means at this time of year, keeping your home safe and nice and toasty. Give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check out their website, callmsp.com. Again, if you've got something wrong with the furnace or it's going in that direction, do not despair. Just check them out. Call msp.com. Dave and his team are going to take care of you. They do outstanding work at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Also, later this month, the 2025 North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show is happening at the Convention Center, downtown Minneapolis, Friday, February 21st through Sunday, February 23rd. We are going to make an appearance and do a special Purple Daily podcast, I believe with John Randall, who is the official golf show ambassador for 2025. You can find out more about the schedule and tickets at mngolfshow.com. Every ticket purchased online, 10 free greens fee passes. That's a $350 value in just free golf. And you get, obviously, admission to the golf show, mngolfshow.com, to try out the latest clubs and equipment and to get great deals on apparel, etc. Plus, free 10-minute lessons from local PGA professionals. It's a really good time out there. mngolfshow.com. All right.
Write this down.
Your third and final prediction here. Your final prediction of the season, Judd.
Wow, this is emotional. As I look to lift myself from last place, I don't believe I have ever finished in last before, at least in the average. I definitely have in the power categories. I'm going to push this one out, of course, because why not at this point in time? Matt Wallner will hit the Twins' first home run of spring training. Matty Wallner will hit the Twins' first home run. Grapefruit League starts this month. They report soon. The first home run by the Twins' big right fielder replacing Max Kepler.
Boy, we're all going to be waiting on pins and needles for that first Matt Wallner spring training home run.
Hey, you know what?
So exciting.
Write this down. Do what I got to do.
Little bullpen trust tree rankings coming after Danny Coulomb. Their first free agent signing is coming back to the Twins.
Good lefty.
Yeah, very solid lefty. We'll have that in the SKOR North Twins show tomorrow. A little bullpen pecking order coming at you. Can't wait.
No, surgery though. That's the one concern.
He came back though.
Surgery. Yeah, he did come back, but he wasn't as good. The velocity was way down.
Well, his velocity's always down. Like he's not a.
But it went down from where it was. So let's just say that I'm a little bit concerned.
You're concerned.
Judd wakes up a little bit concerned though. So that you said your baseline is a little bit concerned. If PJ Flex players are doing elite, you're doing a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
How you doing, Judd? A little bit concerned.
I'm a little bit concerned about
it's
the Wild.
82 and sunny. It's July.
Yeah, but the Wild can't win at home. The Wolves can't win at home. Coolum, lefty. Oh, we'll see. We'll wait and see.
Write this down.
All right, Dex, what's your final prediction?
All right, I'll make a waste management one too. Write this down. We'll get another playoff in the Waste Management Open. So there have been 6 since 2016.
Wow.
There's been a lot of playoff in the Waste Management Open. There's a lot of high scores, a lot of guys obviously shooting pretty good numbers, but we're going to get another playoff in the Waste Management Open. Write it down.
Okay. Oh, Rory took the Pebble Beach tournament down last
He
week.
did. Yep.
Looking good. Feeling good.
Yep.
Okay. Write this down.
Write this down.
I don't think I've made a Super Bowl prediction on either, like a winner prediction on either of these shows. I think I predicted the Bills to win it at one point, but like now that we know who the teams are, so I'm just going to quite simply tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
In the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The Chiefs will not become the first three-peat team in Super Bowl era history.
So what you're saying is their time is done.
Yes.
Their time is done.
I thought I've kind of flip-flopped from earlier in the Super Bowl window here. Like, the Eagles are the single most prolific rushing team in NFL history. I know they've played more games, but like nobody has run for more. Nobody has been able to prevent them from just running the ball down their throats. And I know Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator and he has 2 weeks to prepare, but the Eagles also have one of the best wide receiver tandems in the league. So you're going to jam the box? Cool. A.J. Brown's one-on-one on the outside. And it's like the Chiefs have been playing close game after close game after close game, and I just feel like at some point you run into a different type of team, and that's the Eagles.
This is where Buffalo not employing James Cook more makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's a
kind of felt like
that was a very weird game flow decision.
Yep. And so the Eagles, I don't think the Eagles are going to just forget to give the ball to Saquon Barkley for 45 minutes of real time in this game.
Write this down.
So there it is. Let the drama unfold over the next week, and we'll crown a batting average champion and a home run champion once we see what happens with the Super Bowl and some of the end-of-season awards here. This is the OG edition of Write That Down, the only show or shows this in Purple Daily that actually puts stats next to our predictions every week. Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd. See you guys.